Welcome back to the deep dive. In a world that often feels like it's spinning faster than we can keep up, constantly reshaped by these rapid technological shifts and, well, the persistent echoes of timeless myths, don't we all just search for something stable?
Yeah, something really meaningful to anchor us.
Exactly. Perhaps it's a name, maybe a symbol, or even just a subtle rhythm that helps us make sense of, all the noise.
Hmm.
What I find particularly compelling, and actually what we'll explore today, is that the deepest guidance we need often doesn't come screaming at us, demanding attention.
Right. It's not loud.
No.
Yep.
Sometimes true wisdom arrives more like a gentle shimmer, maybe a quiet breath, a subtle presence that you feel deep down, rather than clearly see or audibly hear.
It's a fascinating paradox, isn't it? Our modern environment, it conditions us to seek out bold, attention-grabbing signals,
Yeah.
to prioritize what's immediately visible or, audibly striking. Yet, as the source material for today's deep dive reveals, some of the most profound insights, the most enduring guidance, manifests in a far more understated, almost ethereal way.
Hmm.
It's a premise that immediately encourages us, you, the listener too, to tune into different frequencies, maybe look beyond the obvious and really consider the power of the unseen.
That's precisely the journey we're embarking on today. Our focus is a unique story, not really about a person or a product line, but about a very specific presence.
Okay.
A presence that lives at the very core, you could say the soul, of Lóng Tíng Enterprises.
LóngTíng. Right.
And what makes this so incredibly compelling is that this presence wasn't just like brainstormed in a strategy session. It wasn't engineered from scratch in some lab or, invented by a marketing team.
Okay, so how did it come about there?
It was, as our sources so eloquently put it, remembered.
Remembered. That's a really interesting choice of word.
Isn't it? And they call it Líng Lóng.
This concept of something being remembered rather than invented, wow, that immediately sets LóngTíng apart in the landscape of corporate identity.
It really does.
Most organizations, they focus on creating a brand identity from the ground up, designing it, market testing, and then rolling it out.
Yeah.
But to say something was remembered, well, that suggests a deeper, almost archetypal connection.
Like tapping into something already there.
Exactly. Tapping into an inherent truth or maybe a historical resonance within their identity. It implies a recognition of something that already is, rather than, an artificial construct imposed from the outside. This is a pretty profound philosophical starting point for understanding their whole operational ethos.
And it truly is, because for Lóng Tíng Enterprises, a brand is clearly far more than just a logo on a product or a fleeting marketing campaign or some catchy slogan designed for immediate recall.
Right. It's described as a living pulse.
A living pulse. Think about that for a moment. A pulse. Something intrinsically alive, rhythmic, fundamental. It's presented as a force that genuinely connects, that resonates deeply, not just with customers, but internally too, and that truly transforms.
Okay.
This living pulse, it embodies collective memory, clear intention, and what I find particularly compelling, it's an echo that doesn't just fade away into the background. It actually returns with every single step they take, every decision, every new venture. LíngLóng is that echo.
So it's integral, not just symbolic.
Definitely not just symbolic. It's not a mascot they parade around at events, nor is it like a temporary costume for a campaign. It's presented as a guardian, a spark, and a spirit.
A guardian, a spark, and a spirit.
A dragon, yes, but one born not just from some abstract concept of, say, cloud infrastructure or digital code, but from the elegant, deliberate brushstroke of calligraphy and the deeply held convictions of belief.
Wow. So blending tradition and modernity right there in its origin.
Exactly. Its form isn't fixed or rigid. It's fluid. It moves like water, yet rides like thunder, and it carries stories, not just stories of Lóng Tíng, but from many lands, many voices, many hearts.
This immediately elevates the concept beyond conventional corporate branding into something almost mythological, wouldn't you say? Spiritual even, and deeply rooted in cultural consciousness.
For sure.
Describing LíngLóng as a guardian, a spark, a spirit, it suggests a profound sense of purpose and stewardship that seems to transcend mere commercial objectives. And the imagery, that fluid form, moving like water, riding like thunder, it implies remarkable adaptability and immense power. Yet this power is guided by, well, ancient wisdom and collective narratives, not brute force.
Right, not aggression.
No. This highlights a deliberate choice to integrate deeper cultural and philosophical elements into their very operational fabric, influencing everything from, say, strategic planning to product design. It means their brand identity isn't some superficial layer, but an intrinsic force that guides their very being and doing.
So our mission today on the deep dive is to really unpack these layers. What does LíngLóng truly represent, both, poetically and practically? What's its profound significance for Lóng Tíng Enterprises, and maybe by extension for us as listeners, as individuals navigating our own complex professional and personal landscapes?
Yeah, what's the takeaway for us?
And why is it considered not just a figurehead, but a guardian, a spark, and a spirit, a dragon truly born from brushstroke and belief, carrying those deeply resonant stories? Let's start with the name itself, because LíngLóng, it whispers something truly luminous about its very essence.
That raises an important question, though. How can a name encapsulate so much? Our sources delved into a really fascinating etymology, revealing a dual meaning behind LíngLóng that provides a rich, foundational understanding of its multifaceted significance.
Okay, tell us more.
Well, it's not just a linguistic curiosity, you see. It's more like a blueprint for their approach to creation and presence.
Let's break this down then. The first interpretation, written with the Chinese characters still. It immediately paints a vivid picture for us. In Chinese, our source tells us, it signifies something exquisitely crafted. And when you hear that phrase, exquisitely crafted, it should evoke an image of maybe a piece of jade, shaped not just by a skilled hand, but by the patient, deliberate hand of time itself, slowly revealing its inherent beauty.
Like nature perfected.
Exactly. Or maybe imagine a delicate lantern held against the gathering dusk, its light not glaring, but soft, precise, casting intricate shadows. Or perhaps even wind chimes, hidden in some forgotten garden, singing unheard stories in a melody so subtle, so pure, that you somehow instinctively understand them, even without words. This isn't just about surface-level aesthetics, though.
No, what's crucial here is the profound depth of meaning attached to either. It extends far beyond mere aesthetic beauty or intricate design.
Right.
The source emphasizes precision, grace, and, interestingly, spiritual intelligence. This is not about superficial prettiness or, mass production. It's about a deliberate, meticulous creation process, something that is strong in its softness and clear in its silence. This isn't a fragile beauty that shatters easily. It's presented as a robust, intentional elegance that speaks volumes without needing to be loud or ostentatious.
Strong in its softness. I like that.
Yeah. In a business context, this translates into a philosophy where true strength lies not in overt display or aggressive market tactics, but in the inherent quality of their craftsmanship, the refined essence of their products, and the, let's say, understated excellence of their operations. Think of it as a commitment to profound quality that doesn't need to shout for attention because its value is self-evident.
That's a powerful distinction, and it genuinely reshapes our understanding of beauty and strength, doesn't it? It's not about flashiness. It's about this deliberate, almost quiet resilience and integrity.
Exactly.
And then there's a second, deeply resonant meaning that echoes through the very sound of LíngLóng. It actually echoes another phrase.
Oh.
Sealing goal 1.
Which translates to the spirit dragon.
Oh, okay. So that's the other side of the coin. Right. This is where the concept truly transcends the material and steps into the mythical, yet, and this is key, as our source emphasizes, for those who truly listen closely, it is profoundly real.
Yeah.
This isn't just a metaphor they picked, it's a presence they actually feel.
This transition from the tangible, the crafted beauty of Adong to the mythical yet real presence of Core. It provides a vital spiritual and guiding dimension.
Definitely.
It's important to clarify here, this isn't the archetypal dragon of Western lore, the one that conquers, hoards, or burns with fire, embodying destructive power.
No, it's different.
Very different. Instead, the spirit dragon described here is one that watches, waits, and reshapes the world through resonance.
Resonance, not fire.
Resonance, not fire. Consider that. This implies a subtle, pervasive influence that prioritizes harmony and alignment over confrontation or, well, brute force. This strength doesn't need to shout or dominate. It doesn't demand attention, but rather earns it quietly through its intrinsic nature and consistent presence. This embodies a really profound philosophical approach that prioritizes influence through alignment, subtle impact, and deep understanding, rather than overt dominance or aggressive expansion.
So for Lóng Tíng.
For Lóng Tíng, it could mean their market strategies might favor deep, sustained engagement and value creation over, say, rapid aggressive acquisition, a different playbook entirely.
That quiet earning of attention is so compelling, particularly now in an era where every brand, every individual seems to be vying for our immediate, often fleeting notice. It's such a stark contrast to all the clamor.
It really is.
So, okay, with this understanding of LíngLong's multifaceted name and its dual essence, how does this translate into the core values of Lóng Tíng Enterprises? What does it actually stand for within their day-to-day operations and their broader vision, beyond just being a poetic ideal?
Fundamentally, LíngLóng encapsulates the enterprise's deepest values: connection, creativity, and cultural soul.
Connection, creativity, cultural soul. Okay.
And the source is explicit that these aren't merely decorative words on some corporate mission statement or abstract ideals to aspire to someday.
Right, not just wall art.
Exactly. They are active, living ways of moving through the world, shaping every decision, every product, every interaction. In practical terms, these values serve as a compass, which is particularly vital in chaotic or uncertain times, guiding their decisions and actions when others might be swayed by short-term gains or external pressures.
La compass.
Yeah, I can see that. For instance, in a rapidly shifting technological landscape, their commitment to connection might mean prioritizing, say, interoperability and open standards over proprietary lock-ins, thereby fostering a broader ecosystem.
That idea of a compass in chaotic times truly resonates with me, bringing a sense of grounded stability. And our source material draws a very clear contrast here, which I think is absolutely crucial for anyone trying to navigate today's business landscape.
What's the contrast?
While other entities rush to innovate, to be the first to market, to be the loudest voice in a crowded space, Lóng Tíng pauses. They don't just innovate, they integrate.
Integrate.
And while others might build louder, creating more features or bigger platforms, they listen deeper, seeking out the nuanced needs and perhaps unspoken desires of their communities. LíngLóng, in this context, constantly reminds them that the future isn't simply something they build piece by piece, like some external construction project. Instead, it's something they become. It's an internal evolutionary process.
This distinction is profoundly insightful and directly challenges, well, many conventional business strategies, doesn't it? The emphasis on integration over mere innovation suggests a wisdom that recognizes true progress often involves synthesizing existing elements and understanding underlying currents, rather than merely pushing forward with novelty for novelty's sake.
Right, not just new for the sake of new.
Exactly. Consider a scenario in product development. While competitors might rush to release a new AI feature, Lóng Tíng might pause to integrate that AI into their existing ecosystem in a way that truly enhances user experience and, importantly, maintains cultural relevance, ensuring it serves their community authentically rather than just being a trendy add-on.
That makes sense.
And the idea that the future is something we become that shifts the paradigm from an external construction project to an internal evolutionary process. It implies that their identity, their values, their actions are intrinsically linked to the future they envision, rather than just being tools to create it. This commitment to becoming implies continuous learning, adaptation, and an organizational humility, really, that allows for deep transformation.
And this becoming, it's not linear, is it? Not a straight line from point A to point B. Our source paints this beautiful picture of it spiraling.
Spiraling.
Yeah. Think of it like a dragon's tail moving gracefully and powerfully across the sky, or maybe a master calligrapher's stroke finding its perfect organic curve, building on previous movements.
Oh, that's a lovely image.
Or it's like a story, a wisdom whispered down through generations. From ancestor to artist, from architect to activist, each adding their unique dimension while preserving the core essence. LíngLóng, we're told, is born of this spiral. It shimmers with ancestral memory, embodying both the precision of circuitry and the fluid grace of silk. It's both the raw power of thunder and the subtle stillness of breath, both ancient myth and modern motherboard.
What's truly fascinating here is the embrace of nonlinearity and the deliberate synthesis of seemingly disparate elements. The spiral imagery beautifully conveys continuous growth and evolution that isn't confined to a straight path, but rather revisits, deepens, and expands upon past experiences and insights.
Yeah, like learning in cycles.
Exactly. It implies an iterative process of development, whether in technology or organizational culture, where breakthroughs emerge not in a single leap, but through cycles of refinement, and the blend of circuitry and silk, thunder and breath, myth and motherboard. It speaks to a holistic approach that doesn't see technology and tradition or power and subtlety as oppositional.
They weave them together.
Instead, it purposefully weaves them together. For example, in their software development, Lóng Tíng might combine cutting-edge AI algorithms the circuitry and modern motherboard, with user interfaces designed with an almost calligraphic elegance and intuitive flow, reminiscent of silk, ensuring that advanced technology is always delivered with a human touch and cultural sensitivity.
That's a practical example.
This integrated approach suggests that true innovation and meaning arise from these intersections, carrying the wisdom of the past into the possibilities of the future. This is a powerful demonstration of their cultural soul in action, bridging ancient wisdom with contemporary technical prowess.
So, if LíngLóng embodies all of this rich, spiraling complexity, what then is its profound purpose and its unique nature within LóngTíng Enterprises? Because our source material really shifts our perspective here, asking us to reconsider what leadership and guidance truly mean.
How so?
It tells us that while some may seek heroes, those dominant, larger-than-life figures who command attention, LóngTíng Enterprises seek symbols that don't dominate. Instead, they illuminate.
Illuminate, not dominate. Okay.
This suggests a very different kind of leadership, a different kind of guiding presence, one that leads by shining a light rather than by asserting control.
Indeed. This raises an important question about the very role of leadership and influence in a contemporary organization. Rather than seeking a figure to be obeyed, LíngLóng is designed to be remembered, carried in the consciousness of the enterprise, and trusted, but slowly.
Trusted slowly, like building a relationship.
Precisely. The analogy to a poem is particularly insightful. It's something you might not fully grasp upon first hearing, but its rhythm, its imagery, its deeper meaning sort of settles into you and continues to unfold over time. This approach emphasizes gradual understanding, intrinsic resonance, and a relationship built on trust and subtle revelation, rather than overt command or immediate gratification. In practical terms, this means LóngTíng isn't likely driven by flashy, short-term campaigns or aggressive marketing stunts.
Right.
Instead, they cultivate a brand presence that deepens over time through consistent, authentic actions, building a lasting connection with their stakeholders that is, well, slow burn but enduring, like a classic piece of art. It's about deep, lasting impact through subtle influence and inherent quality.
That's a powerful way to think about a guiding presence, like a poem that just settles into your soul, revealing more with each reflection. And LíngLóng's symbolic attributes, they further reinforce this unique ethos, their emerald scales, for instance. They aren't depicted as armor designed for defense or aggression. They are memory repositories of ancestral wisdom, accumulated experience, and past lessons.
Memory, not armor.
Their wings don't flap with forceful, assertive movements. They ripple with an almost effortless grace, suggesting flow, adaptability, and non-aggressive motion.
Grippy wings.
And their claws. They don't slash or attack, they touch, signifying connection, careful engagement, and the gentle application of influence rather than domination.
What truly stands out to me is how each of these attributes deliberately redefines typical dragon characteristics, transforming them into profound metaphors for LóngTíng's operational and ethical approach.
Yeah, it flips the script.
Completely. Scales as memory, not armor, suggests a reliance on accumulated wisdom and historical insight as their primary defense and guide, rather than, say, defensive posturing or rigid structures.
Yeah.
It means they learn from their past, they don't hide behind it. Rippling wings imply strategic agility and the subtle application of energy. They move with the currents, adapting rather than fighting, allowing them to navigate complex market dynamics with finesse.
Graceful movement.
And claws that touch, rather than slash, signify a commitment to fostering genuine partnerships and engaging with their environment through connection and careful, respectful interaction. This completely subverts the traditional image of a formidable, powerful dragon and recasts it as a being of deep wisdom, gentle guidance, and profound insight that informs their business conduct daily.
So, like, in practical terms?
For instance, when engaging in international collaborations, their approach might be less about imposing their will and more about respectfully touching on shared values and common ground, fostering true collaboration instead of just a transaction.
And then there are their eyes. Our source describes them as conveying stillness and depth, qualities that are, let's face it, often overlooked in our fast-paced world.
Stillness and depth.
Yeah. These aren't just eyes that see superficial details. They possess the remarkable ability to see through illusion, to discern a real gesture from one that's hollow or performative.
Wow.
And to inherently know when genuine presence truly outweighs mere performance or spectacle. That's an incredibly powerful, almost spiritual level of perception that must have tangible implications.
Oh, absolutely. This attribute speaks directly to critical thinking and authenticity within the enterprise. In a world saturated with superficiality, polished marketing, and, well, performative gestures. LíngLong's eyes symbolize a discerning faculty that prioritizes genuine substance over outward show.
It's a long ting.
In the context of LóngTíng, this means their leadership and teams are likely trained or encouraged to look beyond superficial metrics or impressive presentations. They assess the core truth, the underlying intention behind actions, whether it's a potential business partner, a new market trend, or an internal project proposal.
Seeing the reality.
Yes. It's about recognizing the intrinsic value of simply being present and authentic, rather than constantly needing to perform for external validation. This underscores a deep commitment to integrity, clear-sighted assessment of reality, and a refusal to be swayed by fleeting trends, which is invaluable for long-term strategic success and building enduring trust with stakeholders.
So how is such a unique, deeply resonant presence actually brought into being? Our source gives us a fascinating glimpse into the unique creation process of LíngLóng, one that stands in stark contrast to conventional corporate branding exercises.
Okay, I'm curious about this.
It wasn't born from some typical strategy session, with whiteboards, endless sticky notes, and rounds of focus groups.
Yeah.
It was born from silence.
Silence. Interesting.
They intentionally allowed themselves to be guided by imagery, by essence, by the true unspoken pulse of what the enterprise genuinely stands for. And what ultimately emerged, we're told, was not just a figure to be merchandised, not just another brand icon destined for a logo wall. It was a spirit to be honored.
A spirit to be honored. That's a crucial distinction, isn't it? It highlights a creation process rooted in introspection, intuitive guidance, and deep cultural resonance, rather than conventional market-driven or purely analytical approaches.
Right. Totally different from the usual way.
Imagine a typical branding agency process. Surveys, competitor analysis, consumer profiling. In contrast, LóngTíng's approach, starting from silence, implies a meditative, almost contemplative search for their authentic identity, stripping away external pressures and expectations. The emphasis on imagery, in essence, points to a profound internal exploration for what truly defines them at a fundamental level. And the result, a spirit to be honored, reinforces the deeply resonant, almost sacred nature of LíngLóng. It suggests that his purpose is not to be a commercial tool or some disposable marketing asset, but to embody the very soul of the organization and inspire genuine reverence, both internally among employees and externally among their partners and customers. This approach must foster a deep sense of belonging and purpose that goes far beyond, say, typical employee engagement scores.
That really changes the game, doesn't it? When you think about it as a spirit to be honored rather than just a figure to be merchandised, it fundamentally shifts the entire relationship the enterprise has with its own identity.
Absolutely.
And this brings us to LíngLong's ongoing role as a catalyst for connection and meaning within the enterprise. Because at the very heart of every initiative Lóng Tíng Enterprises launches, in every story they tell, in every bridge they build between cultures, communities, disciplines, there's a central question.
Okay, what's the question?
A question LíngLóng not only asks, but embodies in its very essence. Are we connected?
Simple but profound.
And it's not just about being connected online or by a quick message or through a network. It's about being connected by shared meaning, by vital energy, and by genuine care.
This question, are we connected,
Yeah.
is so fundamental, and it directly challenges the superficiality of modern connectivity. The endless likes, shares, and follows that often lack real depth. The emphasis on connection through meaning, energy, and care suggests a deliberate pursuit of deep, authentic engagement. For example, maybe LóngTíng's customer service isn't just about resolving issues quickly. Maybe it's about understanding the underlying need and fostering a sense of shared purpose or community around their products.
And internally.
Internally, this could translate to team structures that prioritize psychological safety and genuine collaboration over, cutthroat competition. LíngLóng acts as a constant reminder, a living embodiment of this commitment to profound relationality, driving the enterprise to foster genuine bonds rather than merely transactional ones. It's a call to move beyond quantitative metrics of connection to qualitative ones, measuring the strength of the bonds rather than just their number.
And LíngLóng embodies this in a truly unique and profound way. It's described as representing the liminal space.
The liminal space. Right.
That spirit that exists precisely between thunder and light. Think of it. It's the quiet moment, just before an insight truly hits you, where everything is poised and full of potential.
That part.
Yeah. It's the breath you take right before you leap into action, gathering your intent. Or the profound silence that exists between words in a meaningful conversation, where perhaps the most resonant, unsaid meaning often resides.
That space between.
Yeah, exactly. This presence, LíngLóng, invites us to envision a different kind of leadership, one that genuinely listens, not just hears. It calls for art that truly speaks to your soul, rather than just pleasing the eye. And it inspires futures that connect not through flashy spectacle or fleeting trends, but through genuine soul and enduring purpose.
This concept of the liminal space is incredibly insightful and offers a tangible framework for LóngTíng's operational philosophy. It positions LíngLóng not as a fixed point or a static entity, but as the dynamic interface between powerful forces, the tangible and the intangible, action and contemplation, sound and silence.
A bridge, almost.
In a way, yes. In a business context, this might mean LóngTíng dedicates significant resources not just to project execution, but to the often overlooked liminal phases. This could be brainstorming retreats where silence and deep listening are prioritized, or incubation periods for new ideas where failure is seen as a crucial part of the process, or maybe quiet testing environments where true innovation often takes root, rather than rushing directly to market with untested concepts.
Valuing the pause.
Right. They understand that the breath before the leap is as crucial as the leap itself for profound and sustainable impact. This vision of leadership and creation emphasizes quality over quantity, depth over display, and a profound understanding that true effectiveness often arises from attentiveness, introspection, and the courage to engage with what lies beneath the surface. It challenges the conventional wisdom that visibility or loudness equates to effectiveness, instead promoting a mindful, purposeful approach.
And speaking of conventional wisdom, our source makes it abundantly clear that LíngLóng quietly yet firmly defies modern branding as we generally know it.
How so?
In a world saturated with constant advertising, where image so often overtakes integrity, where messages are polished to a brilliant superficial sheen but true presence is conspicuously absent, LíngLóng stands firm. It is not there as mere decoration, an aesthetic add-on. It is declaration, a bold statement about their intent, their values, and their enduring commitment to authenticity.
Declaration, not decoration. That's a critical point about authenticity in the contemporary landscape. LíngLóng fundamentally rejects the superficiality that can dominate modern branding, where appearances are often prioritized over genuine substance.
Like greenwashing, for example.
Exactly. Consider the pervasive trend of brand activism that can sometimes feel performative. LíngLóng's approach suggests LóngTíng's engagement with social or environmental issues would stem from deeply held values and tangible actions, not just clever marketing campaigns.
Actions speak louder.
Precisely. By asserting that LíngLóng is declaration, not decoration, the enterprise is making a clear statement about its unwavering commitment to integrity and its refusal to engage in mere window dressing or, well, hollow virtue signaling. It suggests that their brand identity is an active embodiment of their core beliefs, a living testament to their values rather than just a fleeting marketing veneer. This deliberate choice fosters deeper trust and genuine connection with their stakeholders, as their actions consistently align with their stated identity, building a reputation that is earned, not bought.
So given all this, all these profound implications and practical applications, what does it truly mean for us, for you, our listener, or for anyone, really, to walk with LíngLóng? Our source articulates it beautifully, providing a clear pathway for embodying these principles. It means, first and foremost, to slow down.
Slow down.
In a culture that prioritizes speed above all else, this is a radical act.
Absolutely. To slow down is perhaps the most countercultural and impactful directive here. It's not about stagnation, though. It's about thoughtful engagement and mindful action.
Right.
In a business context, it means dedicating time to deep research before launching a product, fostering genuine dialogue with customers rather than just collecting data points, or allowing space for creative incubation rather than just rushing to meet a deadline. This allows for higher quality, more resonant outputs, presumably.
It also means to lead not by being the loudest voice in the room demanding attention, but by being the most rooted, the most present. This shifts the very paradigm of leadership, doesn't it?
It really does. Leading by rooted presence implies authenticity, stability, and integrity. It's a form of servant leadership, perhaps, that grounds decision-making in core values rather than fleeting trends or personal ambition.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Consider a leader who prioritizes deep listening in meetings, really hearing what's being said, or who embodies calm and clarity in a crisis, that's leading by rooted presence. It moves beyond charismatic, but potentially hollow leadership, fostering trust and genuine respect from those they lead.
And it means to create, not for the fleeting applause or immediate public validation, but for true alignment. Alignment with core values, with enduring purpose, with that inherent pulse we talked about.
Creating for alignment rather than applause? Yes. That shifts the focus from external validation to internal coherence and purpose. This affects everything from product design to internal projects. Asking, are we building this because it's genuinely useful and aligns with our deeper purpose, or simply because it will generate buzz or immediate sales?
A tough question sometimes.
Definitely. This principle encourages long-term value creation over short-term gains, ensuring every endeavor contributes meaningfully to the overall vision of LíngLóng.
And crucially, perhaps most importantly, it means to connect not for clout or for superficial gains like network size or transactional benefits, but for genuine care.
Connecting for care over clout that emphasizes genuine relationship building and ethical conduct. In a world where networking can often feel, frankly, transactional, this means fostering true community, prioritizing mutual respect, and building relationships based on shared values and trust.
So for LóngTíng,
this likely translates into strong, loyal partnerships and a deeply engaged customer base that feels truly valued, not just marketed to. These tenets collectively offer a powerful counter-narrative to many modern organizational practices, promoting a more human-centered and values-driven approach that cultivates true, lasting impact.
What a beautiful and profound way to conclude our understanding of LíngLóng. It's truly a compelling vision, offering a blueprint for a different way of being and operating in the world.
It really is.
So to bring together this multifaceted essence, who is LíngLóng, really? Our sources tell us they are the pulse we almost forgot we needed, that quiet, steady beat that grounds us in our own authenticity. They are the echo of jade, timeless and exquisitely crafted, holding profound value without needing to boast. And they are the whisper of wind, subtle yet pervasive, shaping the landscape gently but powerfully.
That summary beautifully encapsulates LíngLong's identity, weaving together its dual meanings and its felt presence into a cohesive whole. It's not quite a concrete entity, but an almost primal force, the pulse we almost forgot, suggesting it taps into an inherent human need for meaning, purpose, and genuine connection that often gets lost in the noise and speed of modern life.
Yeah, lost in the rush.
And the imagery of jade and wind reiterates those themes of enduring beauty, subtle influence, and spiritual resonance that define its character, ensuring its wisdom is always accessible, yet never overtly forceful.
And critically, LíngLóng is not presented as the answer to all challenges. It's not some final solution or a one-size-fits-all formula.
No, that would be too simple.
Exactly. Instead, it's a profound invitation. An invitation to lead with resonance, to build with true beauty and integrity, and to always return to what genuinely matters, the core values, the essential pulse. In a world constantly overwhelmed by noise, where messages are fleeting and attention spans are shrinking, LíngLóng stands as a keeper of meaning. It's a symbol of depth and a powerful reminder that whatever we craft, whether it's with carefully chosen words, with intricate lines of cunning, or by building vibrant communities, it holds the most value, the most enduring impact when it truly carries soul.
This perspective offers such a vital counterbalance to the prevailing trends of efficiency and scale at all costs. By emphasizing the soul of creation, LíngLóng advocates for a return to craftsmanship, purpose, and genuine human connection.
Back to basics, in a way.
In a very profound way, yes. It suggests that true, lasting value isn't found in superficial output or maximized metrics, but in the intrinsic quality, the ethical foundation, and the authentic purpose of what is built. It's a powerful call to prioritize depth over superficiality and authenticity over fleeting trends, recognizing that true legacy is built on meaning, not just momentary success. It invites you, our listener, to maybe consider how this philosophy could reshape your own approach to projects, relationships, even your career path.
And so from this day forward, LíngLóng walks with Lóng Tíng Enterprises, not as a rigid symbol of perfection, because nothing truly profound is ever perfect in that conventional sense.
Right. Perfection isn't the goal here.
No. But as a dynamic spirit of presence, it rises where deeply rooted tradition gracefully meets tomorrow's cutting-edge innovation, creating a seamless bridge between past wisdom and future possibility. It breathes where ancient myths meet modern machines, infusing technology with the very essence of soul and human purpose. And it moves between thunder and light, not as a threatening force or a dominant power, but as a steadfast, subtle guide, illuminating the path forward.
This final articulation of Linglong's enduring presence really brings everything together, emphasizing its dynamic role as a living, evolving guide rather than some static emblem.
Yeah.
The powerful imagery of those meeting points, tradition and tomorrow, myths and machines, thunder and light, underscores its capacity to bridge divides and find harmony in contrasts. It shifts from being a mere concept to being a constant companion, an active participant in the Enterprise's journey, always guiding towards a more integrated, soulful, and authentically impactful future. It represents a living philosophy that adapts and evolves, yet remains true to its core essence.
And this leaves us with a final thought, a profound invitation for you, our listener. As you navigate your own professional and personal landscapes, faced with choices between expediency and depth, between loud claims and quiet presence, may we all learn to follow, not blindly, swayed by the loudest voices, but bravely, guided by our inner compass.
Follow bravely.
May we remember not just the outward shape of things, the polished veneer, the quick wins, but the enduring spirit within them, the deeper purpose and authentic connection. And may we create not just for the immediate now or for fleeting validation, but for a lasting legacy, something that resonates far beyond our own time.
A lasting legacy.
Because in that quiet space, in the profound silence that LíngLóng embodies, something truly meaningful can begin to stir within us, fostering a deeper, more authentic connection with our own future. This is LíngLóng, the spirit dragon of Lóng Tíng Enterprises. A name, a presence, a pulse. And maybe, in its silence, something begins to stir in your own deep dive.